benchmarking. I've been to their parliament many times, and their current speaker is a beautiful lady, Right Honorable Triple A. Triple A, Anita Annette Amon. I think in her constituency she is unopposed. They are having elections now, and she is unopposed in her constituency. But the politics in Uganda, even though we are all together in the Commonwealth, has a different type of intensity than ours. And so it's good to have this benchmarking. We have sent our members there, including our staff, from time to time. And I'm sure you know each other. And so please get some time, share your ideas and experiences with them, and learn from them. They have a well-composed, well-structured opposition in that parliament, in spite of the paucity of the strength. But they may also call themselves mighty minority. Please share these practical tools and some of the approaches that we are adopting here. You mentioned them in your speeches on some of the things that we've done and how we have succeeded, even in Ghana, to complete a tenure of a hung parliament, which is not common at all in the world. Wherever you have a hung parliament, they fail to complete it. Even in Ghana, when we had one, it didn't end its tenure. That was what we had in the 1979 to 81 parliament. It was also a hung parliament. Now, the leader of the opposition is accompanied by, as I told you, 5 other members. One is Honorable Helen Nakimu. Yes, that's one of the young ladies here. I'll be talking about the youthfulness of Honorable Comfordoyo soon. And then Honorable Flavia Kalule. We also have Honorable Kawalia Abubakar and Honorable Luimbazi Lalukola. The 5th person is Honorable Mpalani John Paul. Now, the staff, we have the director, Ms. Ruth Ekirapa Biona, and Mr. Al Mivule, who is a public affairs officer. We also have the principal policy analyst, Mr. Sozi Leonard, and the principal admin assistant, Ms. Timu Gibwa Irene. We have an administrative assistant in the person of Ms. Laluyima Phoebe, and a policy analyst, Mr. Lusiba Ale Lukwa. The last but not the least is an assistant secretary, Mr. Patrick Okelo. Honorable members, on your behalf, I want to welcome them to the Parliament of Ghana. This is the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana. So we've been along this since January 1993. You are most welcome. I wish you fruitful deliberations, and please take time off to also experience life outside the presence of Parliament. Honorable members, Honorable members, as I stated earlier on, they are to be with us for 1 week. We started yesterday. So I'm reliably informed that they were here yesterday and they were in the bosom of the minority leader, Osahin, for the whole of yesterday. Well, that is the proper thing to do. They are from the opposition. And so the best ally is the leader of the opposition. I've gone through it before, so I know. And so I want to hear from him what he has to say about his first impression and what he has shared with them. I'll give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to say a few words. Yes, it is true. Our friends from Uganda were my guests in Winneba yesterday. We spent a good time to share views on democracy. And we discussed you a lot. And Mr. Speaker, I told them that I've spent a whole lot of time with the Hansa of your era. And I draw a lot of inspiration from that period of turbulence in your party. And you steered affairs of the party in this very chamber, facing the mighty men and women from the right of Right Honorable Alajete. And Mr. Speaker, they were concerned about the 40 years of one-party states where it appears they cannot have a change in government. I told them, well, Ghana started quite rough, and we endured 11 years of dictatorship, military regime, and then even the first 8 years, where we didn't have transparent ballot box, we were using thumbprint ID cards, and through the industry of the opposition, the minority, we managed to transform our system, and today we have it. And we all understand as political actors that if you do it well, you will have the benefit of government. So in Ghana today, we don't need to fight. We need to rely on the rules to show relevance. It doesn't matter the huge numbers, I told them. So, Mr. Speaker, they say they have elections come January 2026. I've wished them well and told the young barrister who is leading the minority, he is 38 years. And I've told him that they need to work hard and use all the tools available. I've shared some important data with them and how we have held our own. And Mr. Speaker, I told them it's about the collective spirit and not the competition amongst themselves. The competition would only divide them, I told them, and how difficult it is to be a minority leader than to be a majority leader. Mr. Speaker, you and I know, the Honorable Ayerga is not part of our club of minority leaders. We know what it is. He's enjoying majority leader. Majority is easy. It's easy to be a majority leader, but to lead the minority, especially when you are few, is difficult. But Mr. Speaker, without more, I would want to say a big thank you to you for the platform you gave to the group from Uganda. we've shared ideas. All we need is our democracy. We are here in Ghana, we don't seem to value what we have. But if you look at the continent, we've really advanced in our efforts. What I think we should do is to strengthen the institutions and make the institutions formidable. I'm sure if we do that, Ghana will be far better a place for others to come and learn from. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, honorable members, it's a proper thing to do to listen to the minority leader. As I've been saying, democracy is about opposition. That's what democracy is about. And it's good that you are here from Uganda as brothers and sisters, because the current president of Uganda actually studied in Ghana. And he was at Winneba. The current minority leader in Ghana is representing the good people of Winneba, Efutu. And that time, as a young man, he studied at the Nkrumah Ideological Institute at Winneba. And he became a member of the Convention People's Party, CPP, before he left Ghana. So he's risen through that, and he has a lot of organizational ability. He has written a lot of books, and I have had the honor of interacting with him a number of times. And anytime I'm in Uganda, I try to meet both sides and have discussion. So you are most welcome. It's an unending journey, and sometimes very rough, but that is part of the game. Even those we see as mature democracies still also have rough times, as you can see what is happening in the United States of America. So please don't hold back anything. Share what you have with them. We are not in an island, we are in a continent. And what happens in Ghana affects Uganda, and what happens in Uganda affects Ghana. And so we are working together. But let it be known that the Honorable Majority Leader has been a pillar since 2005 when he entered this parliament. He was one of my chairmen when I was a minority leader. No, he was a ranking member to the Committee on Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. And I have known him since he was a student at the Ghana Law School. So he has a lot of experience in parliamentary practice. You want to add more? Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, my friends from Uganda are in the opposition. They want to come to power. So when they come to Ghana, take them to those who have successfully fought for power. You should refer them to those who have successfully fought and attained power, so that we can teach them how to do it.
Not those who left power.
Not those who have lost power. For a man who has lost power, what is he going to teach him? Mr. Speaker, we will teach them how to win power. You're welcome.
I was invited as a resource person to Nigeria when the then ruling party lost power. And they wanted to learn from me how to live in opposition. That was the question they put to me, how to live in opposition. And I reminded them that in 2003, when I attended the conference there and introduced myself as the opposition leader. After the conference, a number of them came to me, said, "So you are a member of Rawlings Party?" I said, "Yes." They said, "So you people stood there and the opposition took power away from you." I said, "We did all we could. But you know, one thing that is permanent in life is change." Say, "What? So you sat there and they took it from you? It will never happen in Nigeria." I said, "We didn't sit, we were standing." But we lost. And so when they lost the power, they invited me to come and share how to live in opposition. I shared with them. In fact, I used to move with the Speaker and the Majority Leader. We're moving as a team representing Ghana. And they asked me whether I was really opposing them. And I told them yes. They said, "How can you be in bed with them and you say you are opposing them?" So when we won the election in 2008, I was there. They said, "So you were really opposing them?" To be able to oppose somebody very well, you must know the person. And so, NPP, I know you very well. I studied you from the time you were in your mother's womb up to date. So it's good that they started from the minority, but they will definitely get in touch with you so that they can learn from you to how you manage to transit from opposition and now you are in government and a very huge majority in the House, very, very huge. And so, as one presidential candidate used to say, it is possible. Honorable members, I want to thank the House for appreciating the achievement of the delegation at the Interparliamentary Union. Really, our parliament is highly respected. It's not just the individual, but the Parliament of Ghana. We have made a lot of headlines. We've achieved a lot. And we continue to work together to achieve more. And so the delegation was made of both sides of the House. We worked together and got the positions that they mentioned. Honorable Comfort Doyo is actually a young MP because when I met her, she was a woman organizer. And I encouraged her to contest to come to Parliament. I was able to inspire her. She contested, and since she entered Parliament, nobody has been able to beat her at her constituency. So to me, she's really a young MP, even though she is now a fourth timer, going to 16 years. So what she did was to present herself. A number of them looking at her doubted her age. And so they shouted, "You are the young MP." And she said, "Yes, I'm the young MP," but she managed to hold on to the position. And then we had to cross-check because the rules say that the MP should be less than 40 years in age, not parliamentary experience, age. And so that disqualified a lot of our women because a lot more of them are above 40 years. But we had a few that are 40 years. And I use the usual fairness in deciding, which was accepted by the delegation, that we should give it to the young lady because the others are in other groups. They are in other delegations. That is how come I zoned on the lady from Sechere Afram Plains, Mrs. Afra Nasira Jeke. Or is it Jechi? Or is it Jechi? Yeah, Jechi. Yes. So she is the one going to represent the Young Parliamentarians Forum. And please, the young parliamentarians had opted for another person. But I drew the attention to the fact that that person is already in another parliamentary delegation. And so it's fair to share, not to have one person having 2, 3 delegations, whilst others have none. So that is the fairness I applied. Sometimes some people are not happy about it. But so far as I'm alive here, that is what will continue. Honorable members, with regard to the bill, as you know, the 8th Parliament is history. So are all the businesses that were pending in the 8th Parliament. They all ended with the 8th Parliament. And so we have a new Parliament, the 9th Parliament. And therefore, what was pending there came to an end and had to be reintroduced. And so it was reintroduced. In spite of the challenges I had with the former president, it was actually transmitted to the former president. They wrote to tell us that they will not assent to it. The only constitutional error they committed was they didn't give us the reasons why they will not assent to it. And they did not also transmit the bill back to us. They imprisoned it there. And so we didn't get the bill back. So the 9th Parliament, on resumption, took back the bill, and as you recall, that's a private member's bill. And so members of this House took it up. They've gone through the whole process as detailed out in our standing orders. But as it went through the process, the new government indicated that they wanted to take it as a public bill. I personally disagreed. I made it known to His Excellency the President that this is an initiative of our people, the traditional leaders, the religious leaders, civil society leaders. Ghanaians wanted this bill passed through private members' bill. And so be it. We'll process it as private members' bill. Now, the processes had finished, and as you know, it has to come back to the Speaker. You know, our rules have given what the Speaker is expected to do, which I will do before it can be laid in the House. That was not done. And so when it was put on the order paper, I queried it because you haven't heard from me according to the standing order. So that will be done before it's laid before the House. But because a lot of work has already been done, we think that it's going to have smooth process in the House because both sides of the House now support it, and His Excellency the President has given indication that he's ready and willing at any time that is passed by the House to assent to it. Honorable members, this language was proposed by me as the chairman of the Constitutional and Legal Committee, initially our laws were not passed that way. But the 1992 Constitution is clear in its rendition. We had to debate this as to how to couch the intro, or what we call the preamble of the bills. The preamble of the bills, which legally is termed the enacting formula of bills. There was a debate chaired by the then Speaker, D.F. Anang, and I had to propose this, and everybody was convinced, and it's been adopted since then. And that's why you have it, we always say, passed by the Parliament of Ghana and assented to by the President. That was not the enacting formula. And I think it has worked for us. So please, hold your peace. It will come sooner than later. Civil society is getting restless again, but I want to assure them that they know my passion in this matter, and I want to get it properly passed so that implementation becomes easier. There are a few things that our attention has been drawn to, which we will work on together here, so that when we pass the bill, it's a bill that is accepted by all, and we will definitely obey the prescriptions of the bill. So please, I thank you all for your contributions, but I didn't want to be the one talking about my being elected as the chairperson of the 52 Africa Geopolitical Group in the IPU. Please, brothers and sisters from Uganda, your speaker too is my vice in the Conference of Speakers and Presidents of African Legislatures. I'm sure she would have told you that. So learn from both sides, don't learn from only one side. Boy, you could shift to minority, you could also shift to majority, opposition, or government. Nothing is impossible. What God cannot do does not exist. So we proceed from here. Yes.
Speaker, with respect, the Speaker, thank you for always bringing to light important matters. But Mr. Speaker, just by way of clarity, you indicated that there are some problems that have been identified with the bill that was passed by the 8th Parliament. In other words, the attention of Mr. Speaker has been drawn to some few things. Mr. Speaker, we will be happy that at the appropriate time, some of these issues are shared with us, Mr. Speaker, because for us, this is a very important matter, and I'm happy that you have brought it to a peaceful rest, considering the unyielding posture our friends opposite me took on this matter, even where we were proposing some amendment for safe landing and we had had discussions. They never supported it. And in a hot afternoon, they decided to hang us with that bill, and they were partisanly political with it. So if today, as Mr. Speaker has put it, they themselves have realized that the bill they passed was problematic, and they would want to, yes, that their attention, if today they have seen that the attention has been drawn to some excesses in the bill. However, too late in the day, it is good that they themselves have come to that realization. But, Mr. Speaker, we wait patiently for that day. But, Mr. Speaker, our friends must know that sometimes when they place a rat poison on another man's tongue, it will not take too long for they themselves to taste that rat poison. We are patiently waiting for this LGBT bill. We are patiently waiting for the corrected version. Mr. Speaker, I speak no more.
Honorable Minority Leader, don't read different meaning into what I said. Just wait. You know, Mr. Speaker is very open. So whatever it is, I'll let you know. But there's no corrected version or this and that. No. It may be an improvement, but that doesn't mean a corrected version. I think enough is enough.
Mr. Speaker, I would have preferred their old version.
Resume your seat.
Mr. Speaker, their old version.
Resume your seat. Yes, honorable member.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to point out a few inaccuracies in the presentation that was made by the Honorable Minority Leader. Mr. Speaker, you have always led, and it has already been celebrated by the Majority Leader and other colleagues on the floor with maturity. And Mr. Speaker, your views and your guidance has never been construed or misconstrued to be the views of any group in this House. So I am therefore surprised that, Mr. Speaker, as you guide on this matter, the Honorable Minority Leader is making it seem as if you are speaking the position of the majority in the House, and you are speaking the position of those who sponsored the earlier bill. Mr. Speaker, I was part of those who sponsored that bill. And Mr. Speaker, as far as we are concerned, we passed that bill in the state that we did, at the time that we did, guided by good conscience. And we were hopeful that the then president would have signed it. Mr. Speaker, I will not go over the issues that happened then. But if it has become necessary for this House to reconsider it, I take solace in the assurance of the Majority Leader that we stand in readiness to support the process of enacting a law that will make the practice intolerable and unacceptable in this House. And we are not shaking from that responsibility. We are not moving from that position that we took earlier. If they have changed their position, I would have wished that they would do so with their former president. But even if they are unable to, we welcome them on board, because this is a cause for Ghana. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I'm happy that our brothers from Uganda are here, because they are ahead of us already on this matter. And so they will share with you their experiences too. They have already passed an act on it. They are implementing it. They've hosted twice 2 conferences on this subject matter. And they are calling on other countries, particularly Ghana, to host the next conference. And so they will share their experiences with you and maybe convince you to host it for other African countries to emulate the good examples that we are setting. Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to respectfully observe that I listened to you very carefully when you were giving the guidance. Mr. Speaker, because the matter that was dealt with in this House in your absence, which the Majority Leader invited you to clarify, was a matter of great concern to me. Mr. Speaker, and I was very eager to pick your direction and guidance on the matter. Mr. Speaker, you resolved two matters, as I understood it. The first one, Mr. Speaker, you resolved the matter of whether or not the bill is pending, which therefore can be assented to by the President. And Mr. Speaker, you guided, you gave the direction that the 8th Parliament dissolve with all its uncompleted acts. And therefore, the bill which was passed in this House died with the 8th Parliament, no longer exists. Mr. Speaker, quite clearly, that position is in consonance with the position taken by the minority leader and this side of the House. And with the greatest respect to the majority leader, I'm sure the majority leader himself will concede that the position he articulated or submitted in respect of that particular matter is at variance with the guidance the Speaker rightly gave. Then the second one, Mr. Speaker, which is what the Honorable Suini spoke to. Mr. Speaker, you said there have been certain proposals to make the bill better, and which is what the minority leader pointed out, that if you have realized that the bill that was passed by the 8th Parliament was not fit for purpose, and therefore, Mr. Speaker, and therefore you have found it necessary. Mr. Speaker did not give specifics as to what are the specific proposals or variations to make the bill better. But the point the minority leader made is that there seems to be a certain concession that the bill that was passed by the 8th Parliament was not fit for purpose, and therefore it has been revised for this 9th Parliament to consider it. So, Speaker, it will be very interesting for us to find out what are the specific areas which have been revised. Because, for example, Mr. Speaker, one of the contentious issues which came up in respect of that particular bill was the issue of human rights. So, let me conclude.
Honourable Member, we are not debating the bill. Now you are going into contents. You are now not talking referring to what I said or what he said, but you are not going into contents. But we are not discussing or debating any provision of the bill. And you still don't know what I meant by the statements. So please, I assure you that when we get there, being an open speaker, I will let you know what it is.
Mr. Speaker, I'm guided. But let me just conclude, Speaker, by saying that let them bring the bill as it was and as was passed by the 8th Parliament in the same form and shape. Don't change it. Mr. Speaker, don't water it down. What the Ghanaian people want is to have a law which promotes good sexual conduct in Ghana and which prevents LGBTQ. Don't go and change the 8th Parliament bill. Don't go and water it down. Don't go and revise it and bring it to the 9th Parliament and have the President assent to it, assent to a bill which is not fit for purpose. We want the 8th Parliament bill for the 9th Parliament to consider. Verbatim, don't change it. That's the point. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Please. Honourable member, what we are talking about is not a bill coming from the majority side. What we are talking about is a private member's bill co-sponsored by both sides of the House. Even in the 8th Parliament, it was co-sponsored by both sides of the House. It was not from one side. It is still the same co-sponsorship of both sides of the House. You have not seen the contents, and that's why I said you hold your peace. When we get there, you get to know what I refer to. Please. But I know that this is the highest political or partisan platform of any democratic country. And so you can keep on chipping at it with your political game. But the truth will remain the truth. Nothing can happen to it. So please wait until I inform you about the situation then we can take it on and debate. Majority Leader, may we move on to urgent questions?
Mr. Speaker, I do agree, but I was hoping that the same minister could lay his papers before answering the questions. So if you indulge me, Mr. Speaker, if we could vary the order of business to take item 10 and then we now take the questions. The paper is to be laid by the same minister, so he will just bow to the lane and then start answering the questions.
Yes, minority bench.
Mr. Speaker, we don't have any difficulty in that.
Well, honorable members, in accordance with our standing orders, vary the order of business for today and move straight to item 10 at the commencement of public business, presentation of papers. Minister for Health.
Annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Pharmacy Council for the year 2024. Annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Nursing and Midwifery Training College, Koforidua, for the year 2024.
Honorable members, the two papers, item 10, Roman 1 and Roman 2, are accordingly referred to the Committee on Health for consideration and report to the House. Honorable members, let's now go back to item 7, urgent questions. We have two urgent questions. Standing in the name of the Member of Parliament for Afija, Sechere East, and Lambuse. So we start with the one standing in the name of the Honorable Member for Afija, Sechere East, 7A. Honorable Member for Afija, Sechere East. Honorable members.
Mr. Speaker, I'm here. Minority side.
Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Health the challenges in accessing hepatitis B immunoglobulin for newborn babies.
Sorry, Minister, you have to accordingly change your sitting place and take the proper chair. Yes, please repeat the question.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Health the challenges in accessing hepatitis B immunoglobulin for newborn babies.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'm grateful for the opportunity. Hepatitis B immunoglobulin is a critical life-saving intervention administered to newborns within the first 12 hours of birth to prevent mother-to-child transmission of the hepatitis B virus in cases where the mother is known to be hepatitis B positive and has a high risk of passing the infection to the infant. The immunoglobulin provides immediate passive immunity, while the newborn also receives the hepatitis B vaccine series, including the birth dose. Combining HBIG with a birth dose of hepatitis B vaccine gives the best protection for high-risk infants. Despite its importance, there are significant gaps in access to HBIG for newborns, as outlined below. 1. Non-inclusion in the National Health Insurance Authority reimbursement list. HBIG is currently not listed among the reimbursable medicines under the National Health Insurance Scheme, limiting its accessibility at the point of care. Limited availability. The product is typically sourced from the open market, while a few regional hospitals maintain limited stocks. Most district-level facilities do not stock HBIG at all. scarcity of vendors. On the open market, only a limited number of vendors supply HBIG, further constraining availability. Information from the Food and Drugs Authority suggests that there are only 2 products currently under registration. High cost and payment terms. HBIG is relatively expensive and is sold strictly on a cash and carry basis, exacerbating access challenges for low-income families. 5, public health programs, i.e. the routine immunization package. On a positive note, Mr. Speaker, the expanded program on immunization introduced hepatitis B vaccine as a component of the 5-in-1 or pentavalent vaccine in 2002 and is expected to introduce both those of the hepatitis B vaccine in due course, with a routine hepatitis B vaccination schedule continuing from 6, 10, and 14 weeks of age. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member, any supplementary questions?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I asked this question because on my routine visit to my constituency, I had a conversation with one of the medical doctors in my constituency, and he informed me that majority of the mothers who happen to have hepatitis B go home without giving their kids this vaccination because they cannot afford it. And the frightening aspect about this is that he mentions that the lifespan for such a child is 25 years. I wanted to find out from the minister if that is the case, and what is the ministry doing about it? Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I indicated in my response, I agree that it's very expensive in the market, but I can assure you that government is going to include it in the routine or the traditional immunization very soon, very, very soon, maybe first quarter of next year.
Yes, any more?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Minister, I think you do not, I don't know if you understand how this is administered. It's supposed to be given within the first 24 hours of birth. But when you say routine, so then that means the child will be a carrier. So when you say routine, that is a few months after that. But within 24 hours, if the child is not given that vaccine, the child will carry that disease for the rest of their lives.
Yes, clarification, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, what is not part of the routine immunization is not part as we stand now. It is not. And what I'm promising you is that we are rolling that aspect on to the routine immunization. And so when we start, from that point, it's going to be part of the routine immunization. I hope you are clear now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think...
Please, let her finish her last question. Yes, please.
So then I think, Honorable Minister, you're still not getting me, but that is fine. I wanted to, my last question, when do you plan on rolling that out? Thank you.
I thought he answered that. He did. Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the minister's answer to the question raised by the honorable member suggests that the cost of this immunization for hepatitis B is expensive, and that due to the cost requirement, most parents are not able to offer that. He again states in his response that government intends to include it in the routine immunization. And he goes further to give us timeline, that first quarter of next year. Mr. Speaker, the question I want to find out from the minister, what has been the analysis of the cost and how will it impact on the health insurance, considering the fact that we are still facing problems with the funding for health insurance, Mr. Speaker? Thank you very much.
Honorable members, let me just read a communication from His Excellency the President, dated 24th October 2025. Right Honorable Speaker, absence from Ghana. in accordance with Article 59 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, I write to formally notify you of my intention to travel outside the country for an official working visit to Bamako, Mali, on Monday, 27th October 2025, and return same day. That was yesterday. Additionally, I'll leave the country on Tuesday, 28th October 2025 for Paris, France, to participate in the 8th edition of the Paris Peace Forum, scheduled to take place from 29th to 30th October 2025. Following this engagement, I will depart Paris on 31st October 2025 for Cairo, Egypt, to attend the opening ceremony of the Grand Egyptian Museum on 1st November 2025. I plan to return to Ghana on 1st November 2025. In my absence, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, shall perform my duties in accordance with Article 68 of the Constitution. Signed, John Dramani Mahama. Honorable members, the second Deputy Speaker to take the chair. Yes, Minister, I'm sure you heard the member loud and clear.
Mr. Speaker, since the honorable member is veering into figures, I do not have the figures available at the moment, and he may fire the appropriate, question, and I'll come back with the figures. I don't have the figures available now.
Actually, he didn't say the cost. He said what goes into the cost. So we're looking for the ingredients, the various things that go into the cost. But if it's just how much does it cost, that is specific, then you can give that. But if you say what goes into it, it means you have to analyze and see the elements that come together to make the drug cost that much. I hope I got you clear.
Mr. Speaker, my question was in two phases. The first part of it was... No. The first part of the question... The first part of the question was very clear as to the cost. And the second part was to the analysis of the cost in respect of the health insurance. So that is the second part. So if the minister is telling that he doesn't have the figures and he will provide this house with the figures, it's a very valid answer. But if you say that question will have to come by way of substantive question, I beg to disagree, because it is directly flowing from the answer he gave to the honorable member, Honorable Mavis. So, Mr. Speaker, is it the response?
Be standing. This will be standing.
Yes. Honorable Minister,
If you can also stand up.
are you saying you should be given time to come back or what?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I will make the cost available to the House.
Well. Let me go to Bimbila. No. Honorable Yindam.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, looking at the birth rates in this country and looking at the cost involved, which you admitted, what step is the ministry taking in between now and the first quarter to assist pregnant women who are unfortunately carriers?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, immunization is a structured program under the ministry. And so we have a program for it. It was not part, and as I speak tonight, it is even not part of our immunization program, but as part of the free primary health care we intend to roll out, we are bringing that on board. So for now, we don't have any ad hoc measure to deal with it. we are taking our time and we want to put it as part of the traditional immunization. So for now, we don't have any program for it for now. We are waiting for the substantive program we have planned.
Well. Yes, Honorable Isaac Boama.
I'll give you just a very short and simple one. Mr. Speaker, I think the question as asked the minister is key because of the consequences of lack of immunization in that regard. And given the response of the minister to the effect that the consideration for national attention would be done by the end of the first quarter 2026. I want to ask the Honorable Minister, if you look at the data, if you have data now on where it is endemic, I think there should be a structured approach to see how best you would resolve or make special finance. You've come to this house with special budget to deal with emergency situations. So I want the Honorable Minister to tell this House what special arrangements he has put in place from his budget. If really he has received releases from the Minister of Finance, and then make provision for the endemic places to be treated as a state of emergency. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, the ministry has a program for bringing on board the hepatitis B bed dose. And so I will indulge honorable members to be patient and we will enroll it. We didn't come to meet it at all, please, with the greatest of respect.
Thank you very much. Leader.
Mr. Speaker, according to the minister, government will soon introduce immunization to save lives. But what I find curious is the fact that though hepatitis B affects a chunk of our population, in fact, Mr. Speaker, record from Ghana Health Service gives a data which is in excess of 1 million being infected, yes. And I've had, yes. I made a statement on this on the House floor. They estimate almost 10% of our population infected by hepatitis B. What is quite curious is the fact that the HIV AIDS, we have this antiretroviral, and that is for free. May I know from the minister, in view of the effort being made for the immunization to be free very soon, are there plans by the ministry to also add hepatitis B treatment to the category of HIV/AIDS? Because, Mr. Speaker, they all depend on the antiretroviral for treatment. And one effect of this hepatitis B is that it leads to liver cancer. And the deterioration is faster than the most feared HIV/AIDS. All over, people are suffering. And it's not only through sex that people get infected. Even sweat alone, the food. Yes, food, drink is there. Body contact alone can cause the infection. So, Mr. Speaker, can the minister make that disclosure if there is any such plan?
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my information is that it is very, very difficult to treat or to cure if not impossible. But then when you get the symptoms, the National Health Insurance, as we have it at the moment, covers that. And it could be managed. It could be maybe. That is why I'm saying that it is not curable. Its treatment is very difficult as we stand now. And so, Mr. Speaker, having it as symptoms could be considered under the National Health Insurance as we have it at the moment. Yes, so when you have, every disease and its symptoms, you understand. And so, for example, if you go to the hospital and you have headache, and they try to manage the situation. And those situations are under the National Health Insurance as we have it at the moment. But to say we are treating or curing the hepatitis B on the National Health Insurance, that maybe I will have to recheck.
Speaker, with respect, I need to